A study by the National Association of Realtors found that a well-planted front yard adds up to 12% to your home's value. 12%! That is tens of thousands of dollars sitting in your soil, doing nothing, because nobody told you which plants to put there. Today, I am going to fix that in the next 15 minutes, and here is the part that is going to surprise you the most. Every single plant on today's list costs less than a dinner out, asks almost nothing of you once it is in the ground, and comes back bigger and more beautiful every single year without you lifting a finger. If you have ever planted something, watched it die, and quietly blamed yourself, this video is your redemption. Welcome back. Let's get into it. Before we touch a single plant name, I need to tell you something that most gardening channels are completely afraid to say out loud. The reason your front yard has not reached its potential has nothing to do with your skill level, your budget, or even your soil. It has everything to do with the fact that someone, somewhere, probably sold you a plant that was never going to survive your life, your real life. The one with the long work weeks, the weekends that disappear, the summers that get hot fast, and the watering schedule that exists mostly in your imagination. The gardening industry makes billions selling plants that need constant attention to people who have none to give. Today, we're doing the opposite. Every plant on this list was selected for one reason above all others. It was built to thrive on neglect and deliver beauty anyway. That is not a compromise. That is a strategy. And March is the exact month that strategy begins. Here is why March matters more than any other month, and why planting now gives you an almost unfair advantage over someone who waits until May. When you plant a perennial in March, it goes into cool, moist soil that encourages root development above everything else. The plant is not fighting heat. It is not stressed by drought. It is quietly, efficiently building the underground root system that will be its survival engine for the next 20 years. By the time summer heat arrives, that root system is already anchored, already reaching deep, already pulling moisture from layers of soil that the summer sun can never dry out. A plant put in the ground in May is scrambling to survive. A plant put in the ground in March is already preparing to thrive. That difference shows up in the bloom, it shows up in the size, and it shows up every single year after. Plant this March, and you are not just improving this summer, you are investing in a front yard that compounds in beauty every single season from here forward. Now, let's talk about the 7 plants that make that happen. Plant number 1, daylily. And before you picture that faded orange ditch flower you have seen growing wild along the highway, I need you to completely reset that image, because modern daylilies and that old roadside variety share almost nothing in common except the name. Today's named varieties come in over 80,000 registered cultivars spanning every color from palest cream and soft lavender to deepest burgundy and rich gold. Here is what makes the daylily genuinely extraordinary. Each individual flower lasts only one single day. That sounds like a weakness. It is actually a superpower, because each flower stem carries between 10 and 40 buds, opening in rolling succession over weeks. A single established clump produces continuous fresh blooms from late May through August, without a single deadhead required from you. Plant early, mid, and late season varieties together, and that color window stretches to a full 3 months. In the front yard, that is a 90-day show running on its own while you do literally anything else with your life. Look for Stella d'Oro for gold, Happy Returns for soft yellow, or Pardon Me for a rich, compact red. Full sun, at least 6 hours, and this plant will reward you beyond anything you expect in its very first summer. Plant number 2, coneflower, Echinacea purpurea. And this is one of the most photographed front yard perennials in North America for a reason that becomes immediately obvious the first time you see a mature planting in full bloom. Those large rosy purple petals surrounding the raised, spiky orange-brown center cone are one of the most visually bold and immediately welcoming sights a front yard can offer from the street. But here is the detail most people never talk about. Each individual coneflower bloom holds its full-petaled, fresh appearance for 2 to 3 weeks before it fades. With continuous new buds opening across an 8 to 12-week season, your front yard bed looks full and spectacular from late June through September, with zero deadheading required. Leave those seed heads standing through winter, and you add a second gift: goldfinches arriving in November and December, landing on your front yard in jewel-bright flashes of yellow, feeding through the cold months. And here's the thing about coneflowers that makes them genuinely special as a long-term investment. Year 1, they establish. Year 2, they multiply. Year 3, that single March planting is producing dozens of simultaneous blooms, and you will find yourself walking past your front yard just to look at it. The species or classic varieties like Magnus and White Swan give you the most reliable performance and the longest season. Now I need to stop the countdown for just a moment, because plant number 3 is one I have to tell you about that professional landscape designers use more consistently than almost any other, and most homeowners have never even heard of it. It is not glamorous, it does not have a flashy name, but it is the single most complete low-maintenance front yard perennial in existence. Plant number 3, catmint, Nepeta X Facini. By late spring, catmint forms a soft, billowing mound of aromatic gray-green foliage that looks effortlessly designed even before a single bloom opens. Then those lavender-blue flower spikes appear, and the whole plant transforms into something that looks like it belongs on the cover of a gardening magazine. It blooms for 4 to 6 weeks. You cut it back by half, a job that takes 5 minutes, and within 3 weeks, a full second flowering rebounds just as dense and just as beautiful. In warmer climates, a third flush arrives before frost. That means catmint gives you May through October of front yard color with 2 5-minute haircuts across the entire season. It's deer-resistant, it's drought-tolerant once established, it's hardy from zone 3 through zone 8, and that soft lavender blue is the single most universally flattering color in the garden, making every surrounding plant look more beautiful simply by existing next to it. If you plant nothing else from today's list, plant catmint. You will thank me by June. Plant number 4, Black-Eyed Susan, Rudbeckia fulgida goldstorm. And that German word goldstorm translates directly to gold storm. When you see an established planting at peak bloom in late July, that name is not an exaggeration, it is a description. Bright golden yellow daisy flowers with deep velvety brown black centers produced in such extraordinary abundance that the foliage disappears entirely beneath the blooms, creating a continuous mass of glowing gold that carries from late July all the way through October. While every other plant in your neighborhood is fading under the heat of late summer, your front yard is just reaching its peak. It's hardy from zone 3 through zone 9. It tolerates heat, drought, poor soil, clay, and urban conditions with equal ease. No deadheading, no fussing. Just week after week of uninterrupted golden color through the longest, hottest part of the season. This is the most foolproof plant on today's entire list, and it's the one I recommend to every gardener who tells me they have killed everything they've ever touched. Plant this. Watch your confidence come back. Plant number 5, ornamental salvia, Salvia nemorosa. And this is the one that turns a nice front yard into a front yard that makes people slow their cars down. When that first bloom arrives in late May, you will understand immediately why professional designers specify this plant more than almost any other. Dense, perfectly upright spikes of intensely saturated color. Deep indigo violet, cobalt blue, rich rose, pure white. The colors are so vivid and so concentrated that in direct afternoon sunlight, they appear to glow from within. Cut back by 1/3 after that first spectacular flush, and a full second bloom arrives within 3 to 4 weeks, equally dense, equally vibrant, equally commanding from the street. In warmer climates, a third flush before frost brings the total season to late May through October. The growth habit is naturally tidy and upright, needing no staking, no support, no intervention of any kind, just sun,
at least 6 hours, non-negotiable. Give salvia the sun it needs, and it will give you 5 months of the most structurally beautiful and visually polished front yard color available at any price point. Plant number 6, Sedum Autumn Joy. And this is the one that makes your front yard look remarkable 4 full seasons of the year, not just in summer. In early spring, it pushes thick, succulent stems through the soil, building into a bold, sculptural clump of blue-green, fleshy leaves that looks handsome and substantial from the street, long before a single bud forms. Through summer, dome-topped flower heads develop gradually, blushing from pale green to soft pink. Then, in late August and September, right when most perennials are finished and most front yards look tired and empty, Autumn Joy hits its full glory. Those large, flat-topped heads open in rich rose pink, deepening progressively through copper, bronze, and finally warm mahogany russet as the weeks advance. And during that bloom, the wildlife spectacle is something you genuinely need to see to believe. Swallowtails, monarchs, painted ladies arriving in waves, covering the flat heads in September, fueling up for their fall migration. A full planting of Autumn Joy in September can host dozens of butterflies on a warm afternoon in your own front yard. Leave the seed heads standing through winter, and they hold their sculptural form beautifully in frost, in snow, and in the low winter light, giving your front yard structure and presence even in January when everything else has gone to ground. Plant number 7, Yarrow, Achillea millefolium. And this is the one that earns its place by doing something none of the others can quite claim. It thrives in the exact conditions that defeat everything else. Its native habitat is rocky hillsides, dry prairies, and sun-baked roadsides, where thin soil, scorching heat, and zero irrigation are simply the conditions of life. Plant yarrow in your front yard this March, and you are giving it a situation better than its natural home. Large, flat-topped flower clusters in vivid gold, hot coral, deep rose, rich red, soft salmon, and pure white rise 18 to 36 inches above beautiful, feathery, fern-like foliage that looks lush and richly textured even between bloom flushes. Deadhead the spent heads, and it pushes a second and third flush through summer without complaint. That fine, ferny texture bridges and softens the visual transitions between other plants with an effortless, naturalistic grace that makes the whole border look more professionally designed simply by being there. For the gardener who cannot always give the garden full attention, and that's most of us, yarrow is the most forgiving, most rewarding, most unconditionally generous plant on today's entire list. So here's where we are. 7 plants: daylily, coneflower, catmint, black-eyed Susan, ornamental salvia, sedum autumn joy, and yarrow. Each one chosen not because it looks beautiful in a greenhouse under perfect conditions, but because it performs for real gardeners in real front yards through real summers. Plant even 3 of these this March, just 3, and I promise you something. By July, your neighbors will be stopping on the sidewalk to ask what you did out there. By August, you'll be walking past your own front yard just to look at it. And next March, you'll be coming back to this channel looking for the next 7, because you are no longer a gardener who kills things. You are a gardener who knows which plants to trust.
If this video gave you the confidence to finally go out and do it this March, hit the thumbs up right now. It is the single best thing you can do to help this channel reach the next gardener who has been waiting for exactly this. And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe now and tap the bell, because every week on this channel, we are breaking down exactly the kind of planting decisions that transform front yards from ordinary to genuinely stunning without demanding your whole weekend or your whole budget to do it. I will see you in the next one. Now go get those plants in the ground. This is your year.